Hi everyone, welcome to European Royals TV. Thank you so much for being here. Please click on the like button if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Today's session we'll be doing a life history series of King Carl 16th Gustaf of Sweden, and previous episodes we started off with his wife, who is Queen Silvia of Sweden. So if you haven't checked out Queen Silvia of Sweden's life history, you can check that out in the playlist section. So today's session we will be starting off with her husband, and that his name is Carl 16th Gustaf of Sweden. And the source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. Okay, so let's go. Carl 16th Gustaf. Carl Gustaf Folk Hubertus, hope I've pronounced that right, born 30th of April 1946, is King of Sweden, reigning since 1973. Having reigned for 52 years, he is the longest reigning monarch in Swedish history. Carl Gustaf was born during the reign of his paternal great-grandfather, King Gustaf V, as the youngest child and only son of Prince Gustav Adolf, Duke of Västerbotten, and Princess Sibylla of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. His father died in an airplane crash in Denmark in January 1947. When Carl Gustaf was 9 months old, Carl Gustaf became crown prince and heir apparent to the Swedish throne at the age of 4. Wow, that is so young. When his grandfather, Gustav VI Adolf, acceded to the throne in 1950. Carl Gustaf acceded to the throne upon his grandfather's death on 15th September 1973. Shortly after he became king, the new 1974 instrument of government took effect, formally stripping the monarchy of its reigning executive powers. As a result, Carl Gustaf no longer performs many of the duties normally accorded to a head of state in parliamentary regimes, such as the formal appointment of Prime Minister, signing legislation into law, and being Commander-in-Chief of the nation's military. The new instrument explicitly limited to let's start that again, sorry. The new instrument explicitly limited the king to ceremonial and representative functions, while he retained the right to be regularly informed of affairs of state. As head of the House of Bernadotte, Carl Gustaf has also been able to make a number of decisions about the titles and positions of its members. In June 1976, Carl Gustaf married Silvia Sommerlath. They have 3 children: Victoria, Carl Philip, and Madeline. The king's heir apparent after passage on 1st of January 1980 of a new law establishing absolute primogeniture. Is it primogeniture? Sorry, I can't pronounce that. Is his eldest child, Crown Princess Victoria. Victoria's younger brother, Carl Philip, was briefly the heir apparent from his birth in May 1979 until the application of said law. So this is an introduction to King Gustav XVI, King Gustav, King Carl 16th Gustav of Sweden. This is an introduction to his life history. If you are just joining the stream, please could you rewind it to the beginning to hear today's session. We'll be continuing on with his early life, that will be our next session. That will be session number 2. And then in the meantime, if you could check out our playlist section, you could listen to Queen Silvia of Sweden's life history. We have done a complete playlist on her from the introduction until the end, and now we are continuing on with her husband's life history. So thank you so much for tuning in.